because he's not that kind of a pitcher right now. Since the All-Star break, 231 opponent's batting average. That's more what the pitcher is that you're going to see tonight. 10th in the American League in that time in opponent's batting average. Had his major league debut against Toronto. That was a relief appearance, 2 1/3, 3 hits and no runs. His last start was against the Yankees. The 3 starts prior to that, he was 3-0. He won all 3. 21 innings, only 3 walks, 14 strikeouts, and his ERA was 1.28 in those 3 games.
Very recently, Sports Illustrated had the article about both Derek Holland and Neftali Feliz. They called it the no fear factor, and they had a nice picture of both Feliz and Holland standing back to back. John Daniels was quoted saying, "These guys aren't here to get their feet wet. They are here to contribute." And we have seen that from both those guys. Feliz has been put in a big role, kind of like a 6th, 7th inning stopper kind of a role for the Rangers out of the bullpen. And Derek Holland, who began by, getting his feet wet out of the bullpen. He is a big part of that starting rotation now as Feliz has settled into the bullpen for the Rangers. First one is strike one, according to Bill Welke. On a very comfortable evening here in Arlington. How about 82 degrees and no humidity? We could be in Toronto and have 82 and no humidity right now. Marco Scutaro lines it into center field. Marco Scutaro has been on base now 227 times. Only 2 American leaguers have been on any more than that. Check that Ranger defense. Taylor Teagarden, by the way, is back behind the plate tonight. Pudge Rodriguez got a couple of games there in Minnesota behind the plate. Now I got some iffy news now on Jared Saltalamacchia. There are reports that he had a bit of a setback on that rehab start. And there's certainly still hope for Jared to be part of what the Rangers do down the stretch. But if he's not able to go, you got to start thinking about a third catcher like Max Ramirez or Kevin Richardson at that point. Salty's been dealing with that thoracic outlet syndrome, that nerve problem. That ball hacked by Hill right down the left field line. And as it bounces by Murphy, Scutaro being waved in. That's a quick start for the Toronto Blue Jays.
Scutaro came pretty close to missing third base. I think he just touched the corner of it. The first 3 guys in the lineup can really hit: Scutaro, Hill, and Lind. We were talking about Mauer, Morneau, and Kubel being 3, 4, and 5 as good as anybody in the league. Well, 1, 2, and 3, Scutaro, Hill, and Lind are as good as anybody in the league. And you know, you just can't hit the middle of the plate with your fastball against these guys, or that's what's going to happen. Scutaro laced one into center field. Hill pulled that one down the line. You have to make good pitches to get these guys out.
4 pitches into Holland's night. He's trailing 1-0. It's not just the dollar that's devalued coming out of Canada. It's the hype as well. You don't always hear about the Scutaros and the Hills and Linds. But you're right, Teg. I mean, that is as dangerous an upper third of a batting order as there is in the major leagues. Six through 9 has been a pretty big issue all season for Cito Gasson. Their thump in the lineup pretty much is the 2 and 3 part of that order. It's Hill and Lind. 31 and 25 home runs respectively.
Lind's a pretty good hitter against left-handed pitching too. He's a 284 hitter against left-handers. 320-ish, 330-ish against right-handers.
Derek not able to get the breaking ball over quite yet. Lind is 2 for 2 against Holland. Remember, Derek made his big league debut against Toronto, coming out of the bullpen with the bases loaded. Missing down and away, so still nobody out here in the first inning.
Yeah, this is one of those games where Derek is starting the game with stuff that's well below his normal stuff. And so he's going to have to take a deep breath, regroup, and figure out a way to get the hitters out right now anyway without his best stuff. Hopefully regroup in the next inning and come back out. But right now his velocity's down, his command is down, hasn't been able to get his breaking ball over. It's only 9 pitches, but against the first 3 guys, these guys are tough guys to get out.
That's a strike to Kevin Millar. The Rangers are facing a young lefty tonight. Brett Cecil is his name. In fact, they get 3 lefties in a row in this series. Mark Szebczynski tomorrow with Brian Talent as part of that doubleheader tomorrow. Looks like the Rangers will go with 2 tall, skinny right-handers to counter the 2 lefties. Dustin Nippert and Brandon McCarthy would appear to be your tandem tomorrow. Remember, rosters expand anyway tomorrow. That September 1st date. Teagarden takes command. Works kind of like a sacrifice. Runners move to second and third.
Yeah, that's a very effective out. Not a hard hit ball, certainly not what Millar was trying to do. But if you're going to make an out, that's a good out to make. Takes the double play away. Infield's playing back. So for Vernon Wells, who makes pretty good contact, not a strikeout guy, pretty good RBI situation unless he pops it up, hits a line drive right at somebody, or hits a ground ball back to the pitcher. Everybody else is way back in the infield.
Not nearly the year that Vernon Wells was hoping to have. Power numbers down, and he's hitting in the 250s. Chop ball to Elvis Andrus. He'll pick it up. Only play is to gun it to Burst and Davis with the stretch to get Vernon Wells, but it's 2-0 Toronto. As you said, Tag, he had to find a way to kind of regroup, take a breath, and figure something out. The last 5 pitches have been certainly better results than the first 9. Now he's got to get the designated hitter, Randy Ruiz. A guy that spent most of the year at AAA, which for years and years was Syracuse, New York, for this Toronto franchise. They've upgraded slightly to Las Vegas.
Yeah, Ruiz was a minor league free agent. He's 31 years old. He's been with 10 different organizations in his minor league career. Nice to see this kind of a kid get a chance in the big leagues. Got somewhere around 180 or 190 minor league home runs and over 700 RBIs.
Kind of a Crash Davis thing going on.
Yeah.
But his first 2 hits as a Blue Jay both left the yard. The only other Blue Jay to do that was Doug Alt in the franchise's first ever game in the snow against the White Sox way back in, what was that, 1977. Doug Alt became the first baseball hero in Toronto. 2 for 2 with 2 home runs, and it was kind of all downhill from there for Toronto for a while. Of course, when the Blue Jays were winning back-to-back World Series in the early 90s, it was Cito Gaston at the helm. And Cito has come back for a, well, they were hoping a victory tour here in 2009. Up and outside to Ruiz. And that'll elicit a visit here from Mike Maddox. Well, going back to the game yesterday at the Metrodome, obviously a very tough loss for the Rangers, compounded by the fact the Red Sox won and the Angels won. They had their shot at Joe Nathan for a second time in that series. Bases loaded, nobody out in that top of the 9th. But boy, they just couldn't get those guys around and in.
And Nathan had thrown that double play ball away. Would have been an easy double play, but he threw a bad throw to second base, which allowed the Rangers to be in that situation, but couldn't capitalize on it.
After the mound visit, Rob Barajas takes a strike. C.J. Wilson had the line after the game. He said somebody must have sacrificed a chicken for that one. A little bit of late inning voodoo both ways. It was a tough bottom of the 8th and a very unfulfilling top of the 9th. But it's not like the Rangers careened out of the picture on that road trip. They went 4-5. Cosmetically, you'd love to come back and say you had a winning road trip at 5-4, but walloped in left field by Rob Barajas. Boy, and Derek Holland in need of a mulligan here. Not the start he needed at all. 3-run shot by Barajas. He's got 5 home runs in his last 10 games. Okay.
Barajas is a guy, he's dangerous. He's got to swing at anything. He doesn't walk, but if you make a mistake to him, that's what he can do. And so far in this game, Derek has really not approached his normal stuff. His stuff is well below average compared to what we've grown accustomed to, certainly in his last 6 starts. The Blue Jays have made him pay for it. That's a changeup, kind of like the pitch that Posada hit a 3-run homer in New York against.
On the ground to Andrus. Boy, the Blue Jays, who had 7 runs all weekend against the Red Sox, get 5 in the first inning tonight against Derek Holland and the Rangers. So there's some work to do when the Rangers come up. We'll be back in just a moment. Kinsler, Young, and Hamilton, Bird, Cruz, and Murphy. Taylor Teagarden, Chris Davis, and Elvis Andrus. And this is our first chance to see Brett Cecil, 23-year-old left-hander, as opposed to the 22-year-old lefty on the mound for the Rangers tonight.
Cecil's got a winning record. He's 5-3. A lot of hits, 93 hits in 78 innings. His last 2 starts have not gone well, but his previous 3 starts have gone really well. 3.44 ERA. Got to the big leagues quickly. He was the 38th pick in the 2007 draft. Only had about 200 innings in the minor leagues. College pitcher from the University of Maryland. He's shown some signs of being a solid starter. Shown some signs of being a little inconsistent, which not totally unexpected for a young pitcher early in his big league career.
Kinsler driving it to the warning track near the wall in right. It stays in the yard, 1 down. Cecil has allowed 4 home runs in his last 7 innings of work. That one came close to getting out. Anderson, Bautista, McDonald, Scooter, O'Hill, and Millard. And again, the former Ranger Rod Barajas behind the plate. Former Blue Jay prospect Michael Young. Obviously one of the best trades the Rangers have ever made, importing Michael from Toronto. Michael had gotten as far as Double-A in the Blue Jays organization. Batting average up to .326 for Mike. He's got a 17-game hitting streak going. Nailed and caught at second base by Aaron Hill. Boy, has two pretty well hit baseballs to start tonight, but Kinsler and Young are 0 for 2. Josh Hamilton gets his turn next. The 3 and 4 hitters for the Rangers, Hamilton and Marlon Byrd. Had a tough go of it in Minnesota. Josh is 1 for his last 15 if you go on back to that last game in New York. This is one of Marlon's rockier stretches of the year, too. He's 1 for his last 16, but of course in the middle of that, he had the kidney stone. Hamilton drives it to left. That ball jumps to the track and is caught on the track. The Rangers go in order. Now, there were 3 pretty well hit balls at the end of 1 tonight. Rangers getting stunned by Toronto 5-0.
Five nothing. Josh and Tom Community Corner tonight. We have Eric Niedermeyer. He is with the Recovery Council. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your organization?
Recovery Council is the go-to place for anyone, whether they have money or not, that they need to go for treatment. We actually help people find treatment for drug and alcohol abuse, both adolescents and adults. We also do a lot of work in Tarrant County schools. We were in 18 of the 20 school districts last year working with kids trying to prevent drug and alcohol abuse.
Very good. Great organization. You see the number and the website on the screen. Appreciate it, Eric, and enjoy the game. We got to get a comeback here, okay? Thank you. All right, Josh.
Good to see you, Jim. Thank you. One of the sure signs that you're back home. Jim Knox with a microphone. John McDonald right back to Derek Holland, and there's really nothing more important right now, I guess, Tag, than Derek Holland having a nice, quick, confidence-building second inning.
Yeah, obviously the first inning didn't go his way. Made some mistakes. Blue Jays were swinging the bats. They didn't make any mistakes at the plate, that's for sure. If they saw a good pitch, they hit it hard. And to turn it around, Derek has to do the things that pitchers have to do to get hitters out. Locate your fastball a little bit better. Keep it down, in and out on the corners. Keep it away from the middle of the plate. Do that. Mix in a breaking ball for a strike. I think it's the first off-speed pitch he's thrown for a strike, other than the changeup that Barajas hit for a home run. Just do the things that he's done in his last 6 starts that have made those 6 starts so good. There's a changeup for a strike.
Yep, getting ahead of Scudero's a solid thing to do. It's a guy that's been on base 44 of his last 47 games. In a little bit.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. Threw it where he's trying to throw it, down and in like that. Just missed the strike zone, but a good pitch nevertheless. Good try.
And that's where I think Scudero's really improved, Tag. I mean, he's been taking those pitches all year. His walk totals have exploded here in 2009. Boom, and he offered at that one, and down he goes.
He got the strikeout with a slider. So good job right there. Good job so far this inning. 2 up, 2 down. Good pitches.
Well, that is not the kind of at bat that Scudero's been featuring this year, but Derek Holland happy to hand it to him. Aaron Hill swings right away. Michael Young cannot recover in time.
It might be one of 2 or 3 times in the last 2 or 3 months that Michael's put his glove down and not come up with a ball right in the middle of his glove. Kicked off the side of his glove.
No scoring decision on that one yet. Michael has made only 1 error his last 55 games coming into tonight. Certainly not an easy chance right there. Not an easy call for the official scorer either. That is going to be an error. Now, Holland was working on what would have been an 8-pitch inning. If you're just joining us, the first 3 batters all reached for Toronto tonight. And it looked like Holland might get out of it down only 2-0 when he got Vernon Wells to ground out. But then a walk to Randy Ruiz and a 3-run homer by Rod Barajas. Breaking ball missing in. I guess one positive sign is the Rangers hit the ball fairly well in the bottom of the first inning. Didn't have anything to show for it, but a couple of drives to the warning track and then a line out to second base. Davis will take it to the bag. Much better second inning than first inning, quite obviously, for young Mr. Holland. Bottom of inning 2 is next. 5-0 Blue Jays. For Monday through Thursday Ranger home games, compliments of Southwest Airlines. Upper box, upper reserve, grandstand reserve tickets for $5. Lexus Club Terrace lower reserved or bleacher seats for $10. Purchase by entering DINGER as the coupon code at TexasRangers.com. You can do that for the doubleheader tomorrow. The 4:05 first pitch. See 18 innings for the cost of 9 tomorrow, and do that at a discount too. That's like going into Saks Fifth Avenue, right in Minneapolis, like I know you've done before. You get that great markdown on something that's already been marked down.
Yeah. If you're a shrewd say that 5 times, shrewd shopper, you can find those kind of deals.
What's the best deal you ever got at that place?
Best deal I ever got was a $1,200 sport coat for $99.
You are a shrewd shopper. What'd you do with that extra third arm on that sports coat?
Well, actually, I only had one. I had to find a new one.
Bird rams it but foul. Hey, by the way, the Blue Jays have announced they're going to flip-flop the order of their starters tomorrow. It's going to be Talent first and Sebzinski second. If that alters your day at all.
Talent earlier in the season pitched a nice game against the Rangers.
Real nice. Marlon Byrd down on strikes. He had just missed down that third base line, and now Cecil strikes him out.
Got him with a changeup.
I'm trying to remember, was Talent, was that the sinker that was so dominant against the Rangers in that game, or the slider? He had something that the Rangers just couldn't touch.
He just had a good assortment of pitches. You know, he does throw a sinker, but he threw a lot of strikes, quality pitches, kept the ball down. You know, typical left-hander. Kind of like Dunsing the other night for Minnesota. Not overpowering stuff, but boy, when you hit the spots he was hitting consistently, every at batter, one right after the other, with solid stuff, you're going to have a good night. And that's what Talent did against the Rangers.
Nelly Cruz sends one foul out of play. Looking back at my notes from that game, I guess it was the changeup that was really the equalizer more than anything, is what we were talking about the next day.
Was it? What did he pitch, 7 innings in that game?
I think he went the distance in that game. That was a 2-hitter.
Wow.
That was a game the Rangers lost 9-0, but they came back the next game and won 1-0 behind Kevin Millwood.
He doesn't have a complete game, so he didn't go 9 in that game. But it was close to it.
Cruz arcs it to right. 5 up, 5 down. And Brett Cecil, I mean, it's a guy that has not been going great for lately. You might have seen the highlight. He tossed a scuffed ball back into the dugout against Boston, but did that without calling time at first. So Jason Bay went from first to third on a ball that unwittingly Brett Cecil just rolled on into the dugout. Boston went on to win that game 8-1. It was a close game at that point, and the wheels just fell right off the wagon. Ball and a strike to David Murphy. Again, a 5-run top of the first is what the Rangers have to deal with tonight. There will be no Boston Red Sox update tonight. The Red Sox are not playing tonight. Right now, the Rangers 3.5 back in that wild card. They are 5 behind the Angels in the West. The Angels off as well tonight. They're getting ready to go to Seattle. Start a series with the Mariners tomorrow. On the ground, smothered at third base.
Man, everything the Rangers hit is being scooped up tonight so far.
Incredible. And I got to correct myself. That Angels-Mariners series does start tonight. That's a late night West Coast start. Anyway, 5-0 Toronto at the end of 2. Save you 15% on car insurance, and by AT&T. Switch to the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Very solid second inning for Derek Holland, but a very troublesome first inning. Blue Jays out to a 5-0 lead, starting a 4-game series here. Just an entirely pleasant night weather-wise. I got to imagine you hit at least one golf ball today, Tang.
I did, as a matter of fact. Hit a few this morning.
Towering pop-up here from Kevin Millar. Boy, that is off Jerry's scoreboard next door.
That was not an easy play for the catcher either. Taylor stayed with it and made the play on it, but when that ball comes down, the spin on the ball makes it kind of drift back toward the pitcher's mound a little bit. The catcher has caught a lot of those. All catchers have caught a lot of those. They know how to play that. But still, when it's up that high, it's not an easy play. When you're right directly underneath the ball to begin with.
Wells will foul one back.
Happy birthday wishes, excuse me, Josh, to Dorothy Cheney from Abilene. Dorothy's 85 years old today. Dorothy Cheney, happy birthday.
To left field, and Murphy's got to play it off to Karam. Vernon Wells keeps on running as the ball is finally ushered back in. That's going to be a triple for Vernon Wells. Holland has to back it up as it comes in. Third triple this year for the Arlington product. Well, a couple of baseballs now have taken kind of a funky spin on David Murphy in that corner tonight.
Not much you can do on that. I don't know what that hit the bottom of the wall and just looked like it was coming straight back to where David was, and it hit something and just hugged the wall and rolled up back out towards center field.
Infield is in for the Rangers as Randy Ruiz takes high. Rip and a miss. Some room in right center for Ruiz. They play him kind of shaded to left center. That is Marlon Byrd in center field tonight. Hamilton in right. And got Ruiz to expand his strike zone a little bit right there on the fastball. 2-2. There have been a couple of walks in the game so far for Holland. Ruiz drew the second of the two. And has run the count to 3-2 right here. Rod Barajas is coming up. A shot at another 3-run home run, but also a shot to hit the ball on the ground and get the Rangers out of the inning.
Rod's been up 340 times. He's only walked 16 times, so he tends to swing at pitches out of the strike zone. Sometimes get Rod to chase a high fastball. In this particular case, you probably like him to chase a low sinker, see if he can't ground one to shortstop.
For a big burly hitter, he doesn't ground into all that many double plays because usually he's got that kind of uppercut swing. He tends to hit a lot of fly balls. But you're right, this would be a great time to get the ground ball. Last year, anyway, he hit the ball on the ground about 20% of his at-bats. That is a very low total. Most guys are at around 30 to 35%. And the slap and run guys, obviously, like a Juan Pierre or a Scott Podsednik, are more like 45%. It was a shock, maybe not to you, Tag. I just remember being really surprised to learn that Derek Jeter, who we just saw in New York, was one of those guys at about 41, 42% on ground balls. I would not have figured him to be a guy that hits the ball on the ground that often. And by the way, his Yankees tonight, a 2-0 lead against Baltimore. In a last check, Andy Pettitte spotless through 6. There's one of those fly balls from Barajas. Bird runs up under it. He's got it. Does not have a play at the plate. It's a 4 RBI game for Barajas already. That time with a sac fly to make it 6-0.
Well, in that situation, based on the type of hitter you described, Josh, that's kind of the guy you want up in that situation, a guy who won't hit it on the ground. You do want the ball hit in the air, pick up that run. That's exactly what Rod did.
Some guys just have that natural. I think Ryan Garco, when he was with Cleveland, was one of those guys too. Even though he looked like the guy that could hit into a double play from his build, he just didn't hit it on the ground often enough to do that. Inside to Jose Bautista, who had a 4-hit game against the Rangers back in April. Not a lot of hitting other than that game, though, for Bautista. 228 batting average for the year. Boy, the problem for Holland is pretty obvious here, Tag. 27 balls against 24 strikes so far.
It's just so far is not Derek's day. His stuff is not up to his normal stuff, and his command is below average as well. But sometimes you have those days, and what you have to do is kind of figure it out and see if you can figure a way to navigate through the lineup when it's going to be a little tougher. A little bit easier when you've got the kind of stuff that Derek does, and you have it all coming together like the game against Anaheim. And it just shows you when you've got your best stuff with your best command, even the Angels at home were unable to do anything against Derek.
Bautista lofting that one to left. There was a triple and a sac fly RBI to get another run in. 6-0 Toronto. Saturday, September 19th. It's a 4 o'clock concert, a 6:05 game, the Rangers and Angels. Sponsored by I Am Second and 94.9 KLTY. For tickets, go to TexasRangers.com, or you can call the Rangers at 972-RANGERS. A rough start for the Rangers, obviously, tonight. Taylor Teagarden trying to get them going. Bottom 3. A high pop-up, foul ground. Kevin Millard. But the only surprise there, Millard didn't turn around and start chatting up everybody in the first row after he made the catch. One of the more talkative players in baseball. Now the Longview native, Chris Davis. And a big home run in one of those games at Yankee Stadium on the road trip. And you see how they defend against Chris Davis. A lot of room to, I don't know if you wanted to just drop one down and up near third.
Yeah, it really doesn't hurt for a guy like Chris, if they're going to play you that way, to practice that kind of a bunt. And it doesn't have to be a good bunt. You can square around and almost sacrifice bunt. And all it takes is a little blooper kind of down the third baseline. There's no way anybody's going to get you, as long as you bunt it past the pitcher.
That's what they challenged Rafi to do for all those years, right?
Yeah, I mean, any left-hand hitter that they want to play that way. But, you know, it's usually a power hitter. And generally a power hitter is going to try to drive the ball and get an extra base hit. But there are times, leading off an inning where you're behind by a bunch of runs, where a home run just gets you one run closer. But if you get the bunt down, it's like an automatic base runner. And so, under those circumstances, it's really not a bad idea to give it a try.
Two down for Elvis Andrus. And a strike on the outside edge. Hard to believe that Elvis made 32 errors at AAA last year. And Nolan Ryan was quoted about that in a recent story in the Sporting News, saying, I went out and watched him 6 times last year, and I always came back feeling he was probably just bored. That the routine plays are where he made most of the errors, and if he'd be challenged up here in the big leagues, he'd make the unbelievable, outstanding plays, but on the routine plays, he wouldn't get nonchalant in the big leagues, and that's been pretty much the case.
Well, 32 errors for a 19-year-old in Double-A ball is really not a shocking total. There's plenty of great shortstops who made a lot more errors than that at that same age.
Derek Jeter, who Elvis Andrus wanted to grow up and be someday, was certainly one of them. He had a 56 error season. Elvis said he connected with the leadership abilities of Derek Jeter. That's why he chose Jeter as his guy. And there is a base hit for Elvis to break up the no-hitter.
High-handed curveball right there. Elvis took advantage of that pitch. Might have to use the long ball swing to get back in this game.
Well, I've got just a guy for you, Tag. How about number 5 in your game program, Ian Kinsler?
He's done it a few times.
All right, I'm in. I'm putting in the call.
All right.
You gave me the soft sell there, and I bought it.
He drove one pretty well the first time up to right field all the way to the warning track.
Well, remember, Cecil came in having allowed 4 home runs his last 7 innings of work. The Rangers have been hitting a ton of home runs. Ian's where he wants to be here. Runner on. Couple of home runs away, couple of steals away from being a 30-30 man. He'd be the third second baseman in big league history to do that.
The ball went in the guy's lap. It was getting ready to go down in the lower stands, and his wife or girlfriend, I think she grabbed it to keep that from happening.
Whoa!
She brought it back, and they ended up with the ball. That's a family effort right there.
Good teamwork.
That was great teamwork. She deserved it.
Well, that ball got in on Kinsler. He does hit a fly ball, but it'll be grabbed in shallow left field. So, at the end of 3 tonight, all Blue Jays 6-0. Who was his first career strikeout victim? Answer coming up in the bottom of the 4th inning. It was not just dipping his toe in warm water when he came in for that big league debut. Bases loaded when he got ushered into that game. That was a crazy game where we first saw Darren O'Day in Kaysen Gabbard's uniform. Hard hit, base hit, John McDonald. Now the 5th hit for Toronto. There have been 3 walks as well. Top of the order, Marco Scutaro next.
Shortstop Marco Scutaro.
Even before Scutaro had his breakout year here in 2009, he was just one of those guys, I think, Tag, who just, for whatever reason, whatever team he was on, always gave the Rangers a real hard time. We just saw that with Nick Punto in Minnesota. I mean, there are Ranger killers from days gone by who also kill other teams, and, you know, it's not a big surprise. A Vlad Guerrero, a George Brett back in the day. But Scutaro is an Oakland A. Used to wear out the Rangers. And boy, I can't imagine a tougher non-Morneau or Mauer out in Minnesota than that Nick Punto. Derek Holland, who had come into the game with the third best opponent's batting average in the league the last 4 weeks. Only John Lester and Zach Greinke any better. Trying to find a way through it here tonight. Gave up the 5 in the first. That's a pitch he got Scudero with on a strikeout earlier tonight. On the out-of-town scoreboard, the Yankees still lead Baltimore 2-0, although the Andy Pettitte no-hitter has ended. Took that into the 7th, actually had a perfecto going into the 7th. The Yankees have a homer from Nick Swisher. That's 22 for the year, and 19 of the 22 tag are on the road.
Yeah, so much for taking advantage of the launching pad that supposedly was Yankee Stadium. Looked like that breaking ball hit Scudero in the foot.
Right on top of the foot, it would appear.
Slider down and in. 2-2 pitch, trying to get Scudero to swing at a bad pitch. Unfortunately, pulled it so far inside he hit him. Now it's 2 men on and nobody out. He's going to get some activity in the bullpen. It's very apparent that this is just not destined to be Derek's night tonight.
So Doug Mathis grabs a baseball, and again tomorrow the rosters expand. There will be a much bigger turnout in the bullpen tomorrow.
Yeah, without the expansion of the rosters, this would not be a good situation going to your long man this early in the game with a doubleheader coming up tomorrow.
Right.
But with rosters expanding, there'll be plenty of pitchers here for a doubleheader tomorrow. Well, obviously it's Scudero in a sensitive part of his foot, trying to shake it off.
But Dwayne Murphy, the first base coach, is still in great shape, isn't he? He was a guy that used to hit the Rangers pretty good too. I'm just talking about the rosters and our Geico quote coming from Ron Washington. That other infielder that he's talking about, well, Esteban Herman could be activated from the DL. It's a possibility. I think guys like Greg Golson for the outfield are certainly in range to come back. Of course, the Rangers get Eddie Guardado back as soon as he's ready. Guys like Willie Ayer and Guillermo Moscoso have been here before. I guess they'd be candidates, right?
Uh-huh. They got to chase a couple of curveballs to get ahead of no balls and 2 strikes. Hill's had more at-bats than anybody in the American League. 550 at-bats already with a month left in the season.
Leads in total bases as well. He's been I mean, just no matter what the stat is you want to throw out there. He's just had an excellent 2009. A lot of 2-strike hits. He's got the second most of those in the American League behind Jacoby Ellsbury. Again, the Red Sox are idle tonight. Tampa Bay's already played and won 11-7 at Detroit. Carlos Pena hit number 38. That's 38 home runs against 36 singles for Carlos Pena. That is some kind of year. Angels and Mariners go at it later tonight. Joe Saunders on the mound against Luke French. I got ahead with the curveballs.
Well, Derek's a guy normally throws somewhere between 60 and 65% of his pitches for strikes. Today it's only 50%. So he's been behind. He's walked 3 batters in 3 innings, hit a batter.
On the ground, foul. Hill was a guy who last year missed much of the season. Had post-concussion syndrome. Collided with David Eckstein chasing a fly ball. So he only played 55 games last year. As you said, this year got the most at-bats of anybody in the league. In the left, Murphy's up with it. Gets it in quickly enough to make sure nobody scores, but it's becoming quite obvious this is going to be a short night for Derek Holland.
Well, Hill that time saw several curveballs, 3 straight curveballs to start the at-bat. He saw a couple sliders, and then Derek tried to sneak a fastball by him, and he just jumped on it and drilled it into the gap, not between third and short, for a hard hit. Hit that ball so hard they couldn't score the man from second.
Well, and as we always seem to say when it comes to young pitching, consistency is the one thing that is just not always going to be there when you're 22 years old. It's the same guy, Derek Holland, that spun that masterpiece, that shutout in Anaheim. Needed, what, 90 pitches to get that done?
Yeah, same guy, but this is not the same stuff that he featured in Anaheim. This is just a down day for him, where he's just struggling, and it's got to be frustrating for him. He's given it everything he's got out there, trying to throw all his pitches, trying to figure a way to get the hitters out. It's just not there right now, and there's just not much he can do to stem the tide. Fastball velocity is down, and when you've got your velocity down, your command down, for a young pitcher, that's not a good situation to be in.
Well, the fastball didn't get over. The breaking ball didn't get over.
Derek's 6 starts prior to this game, he was 4-2 with a 2.93 ERA and an opponent's batting average of around 230. So he's on a good roll, throwing the ball fine. He just hit a night tonight where it just wasn't there for him. Just isn't there for him.
(2-0) to Adam Lind. And you mentioned Lind's a guy that hits lefties pretty well. Had a couple of hits against Derek Holland earlier this year. A 300 hitter overall for the season. Only 35 of Derek's 70 pitches, so half have been strikes, and that's very unusual for Derek. I mean, we know him as a strike thrower. In the air, left field. Adam Lind. The grand slam for Toronto.
He's got some power. He just drove that ball. Remember the first home run for Cleveland in this ballpark, Jim Thome hit almost the exact same ball, lined it into that corner of the seats in left center field. And Lind with his 26th home run now has knocked in 85 runs. Both Lind and Hill now in the top 10 in the American League in RBIs.
Boy, all the hitting that the Blue Jays were not doing against the Red Sox, and it really could have helped the Rangers out by doing it there. They're venting tonight against a guy with such a future. The arrow still points up for Derek Holland. nothing yet for the Rangers. Now, Derek Holland absorbed all 10 runs, giving up 7 hits and 3 walks, officially 3 innings. So Doug Mathis will be stretched out tonight. And there's really nothing more you can say. I mean, Derek Holland at 22 years old, we all know about that growing pains thing. And they just showed up all at once kind of tonight. Right away and out collected by Mathis, getting Kevin Millard. The grand slam by Lind, by the way, the first of his major league career. Couple of singles and a hit batsman preceding that. Rangers had been 2-4 against these Blue Jays coming in this year, but boy, that seems like so long ago, because I guess it was, Tag. It was April when the Rangers went to Toronto. Check swing, Mathis has got it. Vernon Wells is out. And the Blue Jays came here back in June. It was supposed to be a 4-game series. One of those games got rained out, and that's why we play the doubleheader tomorrow night. Mathis out of Show Low, Arizona. Then off to Central Arizona Community College, on to the University of Missouri from there. Exact same plan that Ian Kinsler had. Two under Randy Ruiz, under the glove, and to Kinsler. And the Missouri Tigers team up right there. Mathis and Kinsler. Under the glove of one, into the glove of the other. A lot of work for the Rangers. View against the Blue Jays, and his first career strikeout came fairly quickly. It was Aaron Hill. who's gotten some revenge tonight. He's been on base 3 times. All right, it's time to turn on the Wayback Machine here, partner. Time to see if the Rangers can do the 10-run comeback thing. Michael Young was instrumental in that 5 years ago when the Rangers fell behind 14-4 to Detroit at home. Michael Young and Eric Young combined with a game-winning hit, one driving in the other. In the end, it was 16-15 Rangers.
A second hard hit ball that Michaels had in that direction. Hill made a nice play to his left to take a base hit away from Michael on a line drive, but couldn't stop that smash from going into center field.
That's an 18-game hitting streak for Michael Young now, and it's also 23 in a row at home, tagged, and only Pudge has ever done that before. 23 games in a row at this ballpark. He did that way back in 1995. Hamilton, though, a ground ball to second. Young goes in hard, which you love to see. And Josh Hamilton was able to get across with a fielder's choice.
Now, Josh is not an easy guy to double up. And that was not a hard hit ball. And it was a long flip for Hill. Michael got there quickly, which disrupted Scudero a little bit. It looked like more of a routine double play than it really was, with Josh running anyway.
Looked like Michael taking out some frustration down there at second base, too. He was going to make darn sure that that double play didn't get turned. So it's 1 on 1 out for Marlon Byrd. About 4 weeks ago, and again, I'm just throwing this out there because let's face it, it's 10-0, and it's easy to have your heart stomped on right now. But Toronto had a 9-1 lead against Tampa Bay 4 weeks ago. Lost that game. They rallied against the Toronto bullpen, though. 4 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, 2 in the 9th. And eventually won that game in extra innings 10-9. To get to that Toronto bullpen, had to start hitting Brett Cecil a little bit. 23-year-old lefty out of the University of Maryland. They had a lot of young pitchers, huh? Ricky Romero, who we're not going to see in this series, but we'll see young Mark Zebzinski tomorrow in one of those games of the doubleheader. Byrd sends one to center. That's out number 2.
Well, they've got some pretty good pitchers on the disabled list. Look at guys that had helped them last year: Dustin McGowan, Sean Markham, and Jesse Rich for that matter. 3 good young right-handed starters who all look like the kind of guys that could win 14 or 15 games eventually for you. All 3 of those kids are on the disabled list, so they've given opportunities to a lot of young pitchers this year. Some of them have pitched pretty well for them.
Cruz sends one foul right over towards Nolan Ryan over there. Hit the side of the screen instead. There was security in front of Nolan anyway, but Nolan was ready. Security was readier. That is one thing that Nolan certainly has been visible. Sitting in that seat pretty much every game and not moving. Nelson Cruz hit what at the time looked like it might be the winning home run in that game yesterday in Minnesota. Going to send this one down the right field line. Out of play. Nelson's up to 28 home runs now. And of course represented the Rangers very well at the Home Run Derby. The Rangers have had the runner-up in the Home Run Derby the last 2 All-Star games. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. Frustrating night here in Arlington. Toronto by 10. Of the timeout. A grand slam by Adam Lind, a 3-run homer by Rob Barajas. The fans are just trying to distract themselves right now. A 10-0 lead for Toronto. The Rangers cannot mount the comeback for the ages tonight. They got the doubleheader going tomorrow starting at 4:05. 972 Rangers, the number to call to get your tickets. Or online at TexasRangers.com. Doug Mathis to Rob Barajas. The Rangers' hits tonight have been from the left side of the infield. It's been Elvis Andrus and Michael Young. A couple of baseballs that went to the warning track early for the Rangers tonight. Nelly Cruz hit one of those. We talked about Nelson in the Home Run Derby. How many Home Run Derbies do you figure you were in, Mr. Reeve?
I was probably in maybe 3 or 4. We used to have home run hitting contests back in the mid-70s during the season. As kind of a little promotion, there'd be 2 guys maybe from each team take part in a home run contest. Over a 2-year period, there was maybe 3 or 4 of them. I can remember doing it in our ballpark, maybe Kansas City, Anaheim. They weren't, all that frequent, but you don't see that at all now. Home run hitting contest before a game in a regular season.
Boy, Barajas unloads again. Bullpen shot. That's 2 tonight.
About halfway back in the bullpen. That's about a 430-foot shot.
His own personal home run derby happening tonight. The former Ranger Rob Barajas now has 6 home runs in his last 11 ball games. 2 tonight, and 5 runs batted in.
Well, when you throw it there, you're asking for trouble. Ball right down the middle of the plate. Again, Rod's a guy that will expand the strike zone a little bit. So all the more important not to give him that kind of a pitch to hit when you can maybe get him to pitch it, maybe get him to swing at a pitch a little bit out of the strike zone.
I don't know if we'll see it again, the freeze frame that they showed you there of where the bat was when it made contact, but that's what we were talking about earlier with Barajas, that kind of uppercut swing that is absolutely designed to send the ball real far. He's not a guy that wants to hit the ball on the ground or necessarily even hit a line drive. He wants to get some lift. By the way, the Twins are leading the White Sox tonight 3-0. Joe Mauer has hit number 26. I have to think, Tag, that any MVP discussion this year, even if the Twins don't make the playoffs, at least you got to put Mauer in the discussion, right?
Got Mauer and Morneau. Morneau's got 94, 95 RBIs this year. He's been an MVP before. And the Twins are a contender right now. Detroit's not playing that well. Chicago's pretty much playing themselves right out of a race.
And Chicago, remember, got the guy that was supposed to be one of the big parts of this Toronto team for years to come, Alex Rios. Doesn't really look like that Jake Peavy pickup is panning out real well yet either, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure how Alexis Rios is going to pan out either for $72 million. Toronto put him on waivers hoping someone would take him so they could get out from underneath the contract, and the White Sox did.
We go to Jim Knox.
All right, Josh and Tom, we got good news because the Brown family is on hand for tonight's game. Robin, what's this about?
Oh, I've been coming for the last 5 years, 10 games a season, and every time I've come, the Rangers have never lost, so they're not going to lose this time. Go Rangers!
And when they mount a comeback, what happens? The Wolfpack's on hand.
Okay, I'll give Josh and Tom a big kiss on the cheek.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so there we go. Okay, appreciate it, Robin. Keep on waving that Ranger fan, Wolfpack, man. Thank you very much.
So trying to gain a half a game on the Red Sox, and you and I get a kiss on the cheek. So
pretty nice. Can't beat that.
All we need now is 12 runs quickly. Now, how the Rangers bounce back from this, obviously, whether it's tonight or probably more realistically tomorrow, but obviously that the Rangers, one of the big things we've talked about all year is how the disappointments don't weigh them down for too long. There have been some tough losses this year. There have been some blowouts this year as well. I think more tough walk-off type losses and blowouts. Some people maintain puts more of a mental strain on you anyway when you lose the tough ones like that. But that watchword has been resiliency all year. It's how the Rangers respond to stuff like this. That ball slashed by McDonald into center field. Hard to believe this is a team that had 7 runs total in 3 games at Fenway.
Well, on any given night, a baseball game can be completely unpredictable. I think if you go back to the day the Rangers scored 30 runs in Baltimore, that's pretty much all you need to know.
Yeah.
The Rangers weren't exactly the best offensive team in the league that year. And I don't think you would have picked them as if there was going to be a team to score 30 runs, that it would have been the Rangers. So on any given night, you never know what can happen.
That's the beautiful thing about baseball, and sometimes the ugly thing too. But 162 of these things are going to be easily 5 out of 162 games a year, where no matter what you do, just nothing goes right. Kind of law of averages, I would think. there's also going to be, no matter how good or bad you are, probably at least 4 or 5 games where you can't do anything wrong. Every bounce goes your way. Scudero, remember, was hit by a pitch before the grand slam by Lind in the 4th inning. He singled to start the game tonight, came around to score back in what was a 5-run first. Mark McLemore, by the way, is going to join us in the bottom of the 5th inning. That same couple that got the foul ball earlier almost had another one.
She had a chance for it. Just couldn't get her hands on it.
Those are good foul ball seats right over there. Middle level here.
I think she got a hold of it, though, right on her thumb.
Now, chip towards first, and Davis thought about going to second. Instead, he'll jog over to his own base.
He had time to go to second, but he had no way to get the ball to second when he fielded it right in the base path like that. As he turned and looked to second, McDonald was right between him and the fielder, and so he did the right thing, get the out at first base. You'll get a look at it right here as he goes to throw. The runner was directly in line with the only way he could have gotten it to second and allowed the guy at second, Elvis Andrus, to stay on second for the force out, was to go right through the runner.
Grounded near third, that's foul off the bat of Aaron Hill. Hitting with runners in a scoring position, not something the Blue Jays have been known for this year. Check your forward leaderboard. I'll give you a crazy stat about the Blue Jays, Tag. As of right now, the Blue Jays have outscored their opponents this year by 25 runs. But they're 58 and 70.
That shows you they've had a lot of games just like this, where they've scored a ton of runs and won a game by 10 or 11 runs. Probably done that 4 or 5 times, which gets their run total up there, but in the overall scheme of things hasn't helped them to a winning record.
They had a real nice start to their season. They were one of those kind of trendy, from out of nowhere stories that people started picking up on around Memorial Day, but the fire burned out.
Also tells you they probably lost a lot of one-run games. You lose 10 straight games by 1 run and then win a game by 11 runs.
Right.
You've outscored your opponents by 1 run and gone 1 and 10.
Got him. Tough guy to strike out, too. Well, one more run on another Barajas homer. Blue Jays by 11. The 12th of September. And that thing you saw right there, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a salsa bowl. Compliments of Coca-Cola. And on Saturday the 12th, the first 15,000 fans 14 and older get a salsa bowl. Compliments of Coca-Cola. TexasRangers.com to get your tickets, or 972 Rangers gets it done as well. Thought that was like a mid-level, actual, like, you know, December 23rd bowl game. The salsa bowl. Nope, instead it's a giveaway item on September 12th. The Rangers trailing 11-0 and trying to change the luck of the Rangers. And just to give you a different voice to hear, I'm going to bring on Mark McLemore here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And you've been in these before, not necessarily as a broadcaster, and they're no fun as a broadcaster either, but as a player, what goes through your mind? I mean, you know these are all big games down the stretch, and you come out here and you can't hide. It's 11-0.
No, you really can't hide, but the one thing you can't do is you can't let it get you down. You still know you've got games left to play. This is a tough one to lose, obviously. Any game you lose from here on out is a tough one. I know the fans look at it as, hey, you know, they're getting beat up on, it's 11-0, but in reality, it's still, you know, if it ends up staying this way, it can be just one loss. It's not 11, and that's what you've got to keep in perspective.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the Blue Jays are not 11 runs better than the Texas Rangers through half a ball game on any night.
No, they're not.
Murphy with a base hit into center. Good job, Mac. Good karma.
Hey, I got a hit.
It's been a long time since you scored a run up here, Mac. You need more than one. We need a big inning right here.
Let's start with the hits.
We got to get you back on track.
I know it, man. I'm slumping bad.
See, there's a guy that's not giving up hope. The rally cap is on. 2 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th, and then you get your 3-run Jimmy Jack in the 9th, and you're fine. Now I'm trying to remember, were you involved in the Cleveland-Seattle 12-0 game, or you were?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just throwing it out there. I mean, that one ended up 14-13 Cleveland after it was 12-0
in the
Seattle.
6th inning.
Yeah.
In the 6th inning. That was not a very fun night.
Now,
how'd Lou take that one?
Actually, Lou took it pretty well.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we won a lot of ball games that year, so you know, he obviously didn't like it, but there were no explosions.
Well, and you know, I think that goes to the point that Tom was making earlier, and you've already kind of brought it out. I mean, that was a team, if I remember right, that was the year you guys won 116 games. 116
games, and that's one of those games that we all remember, because that, you know, obviously would have put us over the top.
Up 12, I felt pretty good about you guys.
Tell you what, in the 6th inning, you know, that year especially, we had a ridiculous record, obviously, but even more so, if we had a lead going into the 6th inning, I believe that was the only game we lost all year like that. Once we had a lead in the 6th inning, we had our setup guys. We had Piniagua come in the 6th, Arthur Rhodes or Jeff Nelson in the 7th or 8th, and then Kyle Sasaki in the 9th, and the game was over.
You bring up a great point, an orderly bullpen. And the Rangers had that the last time they were competitive back in 2004, where they had just a real structure of who was pitching the 7th. It was Frankie Francisco. Carlos Almanzar pitched the 8th, Coco Cordero in the 9th, and that does, I think, permeate, right? I mean, everybody just kind of feels good that that's how we're going to do this.
Everybody does feel good. They feel good knowing their role.
Teagarden base hit. Mark McLemore is due, ladies and gentlemen. He's been the king of 1-2-3 Ranger bottom of the 5th. So maybe you were just saving everything for this one when the Rangers really needed it.
I sure hope so. That'd be great. Come back and score about 13 right now in the 5th.
You'd be remembered forever. Now, what's your week like when the team's on the road? I know we see you on Rangers Live a little bit, but what else you got going on?
Well, during the week, during the days, I'm usually at my office in Dallas, you know, working on my projects and just getting all those, getting that in order, and then come out here, watch the game on TV at home, or just try and keep up with what's going on.
You got a million ideas, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got to pick one and run.
Like the Kramer of downtown Dallas, just a million ideas. Outside corner here to Davis. Well, your thoughts about that road trip, Mac? I mean, obviously the Rangers, I think that the whole hanging tough dynamic was on display that whole trip. But, boy, you'd love to come back 5-4 instead of 4-5. It just sounds better.
It sounds better, and it does wonders for your psyche, and I think that's part of the problem tonight. But, you know, they had opportunities to win some ball games, and they just didn't get it done. Had a couple of games in Minnesota where they had the lead going into the you know, latter innings, the latter part of the game, and weren't able to pull it out. And you've got to be able to pull those games out. When you've got the lead, you've got to hold it. So it could have been a better road trip, and it could have been worse.
Davis fires one into left field, base hit. The Rangers will get on the board. The fans react like it's a playoff win. It's 11-1.
The only one happy in the fans is Mac. He's finally got a run.
That's a playoff win for me right there, baby.
Nice count for Chris Davis, too, against the left-hand pitcher. Slapping that ball down the left field line like that.
You know, I think that's the difference that I've seen since he's been back so far, is he's taking what that pitcher gives him. Got 2 strikes. That pitch is too close to take. He's not trying to put it in the seats. He's trying to put it in play and goes with it. Drives in a run. Big at bat right there.
Andrews singled his first and only time up. Now, Brett Cecil's a guy with an ERA of about 5 and was hit hard his last 3 games coming into this one. See if the Rangers can kind of make him remember that here. Outside corner to Elvis. Mac, do you start thinking about, there was a column today written by Tim Collishaw in the Dallas paper about how it might be easier if we're all going to scoreboard watch to watch the West and not watch the wild card. Do you have a thought either way? Do you even care either way at this point? There's a 6-4 fielder's choice. Another hard takeout slide. I guess the point being that the Rangers have 7 games still left head-to-head with the Angels, and it's easier to take care of your own business that way.
You really can't worry about the scoreboard. You have to take care of tonight and what you're doing and where you are. If you're not playing tonight, okay, you can watch the scoreboard. But if you're playing, you've got to take care of what you've got there. And like you said, I think personally it's going to be easier for them to catch the Angels than it will be to catch Boston, because they have their own destiny in their hands. They play them 7 times, and they've played them extremely well this season. So I think it's much easier to take care of the Angels than it is to take care of Boston.
Angels play tonight in Seattle. Kinsler slapping one to right field. That ball is going to sit down, base hit, and bouncing to the wall. Mark McLemore's calling triple. You got it. And 2 runs batted in.
Is this the biggest inning of your broadcasting career, Mac?
I think this surpasses all the runs that I've had all year long put together.
I'm telling you, if they end up with a dozen this inning, it was all for a reason. It was worth it. As soon as that ball was kind of waved at by Bautista, Kinsler, you could just see it. He was thinking 3. Michael Young pegs it to the right side.
Nice play in the stands. That's why you bring your glove.
One thing we probably should mention, because our good friend Mike Bassick of the Ticket, that Indians-Mariners game we were talking about, that was a Mike Bassick game. That was his big league debut for the Indians. Michael Young, right center field, a little short to his good buddy Vernon Wells. Kinsler trots home, and it's 4 on the board. Look at something to talk about tonight. They can relive the memories of 14-13 Cleveland. Right here, it's 11-4. And the now bearded Josh Hamilton calls that his playoff beard. Mac is growing it with a purpose.
I like it. I like it.
Got an email yesterday suggesting Josh now looks like the tallest leprechaun ever.
That's a good call.
Wow, off of Cecil. And Josh Hamilton's aboard. Almost embedding that ball into Cecil.
Oh, that was a bullet, too. However hard Cecil threw that ball, it went back 10 miles an hour harder. Hate to see that.
Remember, Tommy Hunter took a line shot in Minnesota in the chest.
Yeah, you know what? The only thing that got thrown out of the game then was the ball.
It was oblong at that point.
Batter called for the ball. The umpire looked at it and threw it out of the game.
Oh, man.
Well, if it's going to hit you at 100 miles an hour like that, that probably hit him in a good spot. It looked like it hit him in the back of the left leg. Nowhere is good when it's going that fast, but it's not a kneecap or a shin or an arm.
Well, you better believe he wants to stay in the game. He needs one more out to qualify for a win. If he gets lifted at 54 2/3 mark, he can't win the game. Now, we were talking about the playoff situation. And the Rangers have a fairly friendly schedule here. Among the winning teams that they play, well, it's 7 of them against one of the teams they're chasing, the Angels. So that, as long as they're playing good ball in those 7, that does present itself very favorable.
If the Rangers can play against the teams that they've got coming up the way they've played against the Angels and the Red Sox, everything will be okay. But you just can't go into it and say there's a lot of teams below 500. It's going to be an easy go for the Rangers. It just doesn't work that way. You still, as you said, Mac, you got to go out there every night and play good baseball to beat any major league team. This late in the season, those teams that aren't 500 don't have anything to lose. They're just playing to go out and have fun and play hard, and they can jump up and beat you just as much as a good team can.
And that's, you know, what we've seen this year. The Rangers really haven't played teams below 500 that well. They can play the upper echelon teams very well and beat them, but they've been having trouble with the teams that they should beat.
Marlon Byrd keeps the carousel spinning. The Rangers batting around here in the 5th. And the emails are pouring in. You know, they used to pour in saying, get Mac out of the booth, because it's always
another inning.
It's always a 1-2-3 inning with Mac. But tonight they're loving you. Such a what have you done for me lately world, isn't it? So on behalf of all Ranger fans, Mac, please stay. Don't go anywhere. We're so happy to have you.
I'd love to think that I'm having a real effect on this. Because now, if I'm thinking that about scoring, then I really have to think that when we don't score.
Well, also, you know, you could channel that ability into, say, world peace or something like that if you really had all that going on. But
if Nelly has something going on right here, all of a sudden a lot of the fans will stick around for this game. It'll be a 4-run game.
No doubt.
Launches one.
And Cecil has not given up a home run yet tonight. Home runs have been a big problem for him this year. It all started with a base hit up the middle by David Murphy. Only one extra base hit in the inning. Caught to left field, and there she goes.
And now it is a 4-run game.
You and I might get our kiss yet here, Tag.
Trying to let Cecil stay in long enough to get a win. if this wasn't the 5th inning, he probably would have been gone a long time ago. There's a curveball, an 0-2 curveball, slightly off the plate. Many times that's a ball that a hitter will pull foul, but Nelly kept that fair and hit it almost off the restaurant left field, right at the base of the wall, all the way behind the seats.
The irony here is that the scoreboard's been frozen for about the last 6 or 7 batters. And even though the Rangers are back to within 11-7, it's been showing 11-1 here in the ballpark for a while. But these fans are well aware of what the score really is, I hope. 11-7 now. As the Rangers have one of those patented big bottom of the 5th innings with Mark McLemore here. Nelly Cruz was a part of that 8-run uprising back in mid-April. That was the Ian Kinsler cycle game. Well, you know, and I will say this, whether the Rangers come all the way back or not, you never saw panic tonight on anybody. You saw disappointment maybe a little bit, but certainly not panic. The Rangers end up with a 7-run 5th inning. And even though you can quibble a bit with those last couple of calls on Murphy, the comeback is afoot. Also by Hankook Tires, Tame the Road, and by Jack Daniels. Your friends at Jack Daniels remind you to drink responsibly. A 7-run bottom of the 5th inning. How about that? And the Ranger fans still buzzing about it. It's up to Doug Mathis to make sure Toronto stays at 11 and let the comeback continue. Ground ball to short. That's a nice start. Elvis Andrus locks it up. You had to love the fans in the ballpark when it was 11-0 that had the rally caps going. We showed Pawpaw right down beneath us. He was the first one that I saw with the rally cap going at 11-0. And the conveyor belt just kept moving. It was a bunch of singles to start out that inning. Got a
Got
fielder.
the scoreboard working. Now we can look at that 7. That's what the fans are cheering for.
They finally got
they got the 7 up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you want to be able to validate that you really saw what you thought you saw, right? I mean, it said 11-1. It really happened. A 7-run 5th inning. There's definitely an energy in the ballpark now. That Toronto bullpen has been taxed a little bit. And the Rangers should be getting to it fairly soon. Again, Cecil not only gave up 7 runs in that 5th inning tag, but he got, boy, just smokes that ball that Hamilton hit, got him right in the thigh. Fly ball left center field. Murphy has got it. For Toronto, a pair of home runs and a sac fly for our old buddy Rod Barajas. That's 5 of their 11 runs. Of course, they got the grand slam from Adam Lind as well. That's what chased Derek Holland tonight.
Doug's doing a good job, like he always does when he comes in, making a lot of good pitches. The one bad pitch he made was that fastball that he grooved to Barajas. He threw it right down the center of the plate. That's the ball that Rod hit out of the ballpark. But other than that one pitch, most of his pitches have been pretty much right where he's wanted to throw them. On the corners. Always has good movement on his sinker. Doug's done a good job this year. Coming into this game, 33 innings, only 29 hits. That's why I hit that corner.
Yep, put it right on the black. Well, if he can get Vernon Wells, we head to the Sonic Slam inning, where a slam would tie this ball game. And he gets Vernon Wells. If there's any such animal as momentum in this sport, the Rangers have it. And they're coming up in the bottom of the 6th, trailing 11-7. Game and dinner for 2 at Sonic. Good luck to Margarita Condi of Grand Prairie. The Ranger hits a grand slam this inning. We're giving away $25,000. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. A 7-run bottom of the 5th inning has the Rangers back in business. New pitcher to tell you about, Casey Jansen. And look at that opponent's batting average. Nice and robust. 346. But a guy with some talent. Just not really harnessing it quite yet in the action that he's gotten. Missed all of last year with shoulder surgery, did Jansen. Now, and Brett Cecil went just long enough into the game tag to be eligible for a win. He's got to hope his bullpen has a little something here tonight.
Yeah, I think if that inning occurred at any other time before the 5th or after the 5th, he wouldn't have been in quite as long as he was. I think Cito Gaston wanted to leave him in as that long to try to get him a win.
Taylor Teagarden base hit.
A couple of base hits for Teagarden. Had a single in the big 7-run inning in the 5th. Now he's the leadoff hitter here in the 6th. Not a bad pitch either. Slider right on the outside corner, barely on the outside corner if it was at all. Pretty nice job of hitting to be able to drive that pitch into right center field. I think I'm going to make the call right here for Chris.
I was kind of hoping that you would.
Keep this thing going. Oh,
tough pitch right there. Davis has been victimized by Jansen before. 0 for 3 lifetime, 3 punchouts. Kinsler and Young, however, have home runs against Jansen. They're coming up real soon.
That's what Chris has to avoid. Expanding the strike zone to that point. Don't get over anxious. You can't hit a grand slam with only one guy on base. Get your base hit just like last time. Last time Chris had an excellent at bat against the left-hander. Behind in the count. Slapped the ball into left field for a base hit. You've seen a couple of curveballs out of the strike zone though, and now it's 0-2. That's the way to lay off.
Yep.
Big league pitchers will do that. If they see you swinging at something, they're going to give you another chance to do it.
The Rangers actually out hitting Toronto 10-9. Blasting back in it with a 7-run bottom of the 5th. Two balls, 2 strikes. Andrews on deck. Pretty obvious where he's trying to go with CD here.
Well, once he swung at the first pitch, that's all he's seen since then. Curveballs down and in out of the strike zone. He swung at a couple. He's laid off a couple.
That time he is gone.
That was a lot closer to being a strike right there. That was just a good curveball. That was not necessarily chasing a pitch way out of the strike zone. That was just missing a real good pitch.
Now Elvis Andrews to the plate. Well, you mentioned it earlier, Tag, but I think it bears repeating. 3 innings of 1-run baseball for Mathis. A pretty important component right now. After Holland was hit around for 10 runs in 3 innings tonight. Andrews grows the count to 2-1. Rangers have been playing so well at home for the most part. They've won 18 of their last 25 here. Trying to check. He did. 3-1.
Yeah, to get a good pitch there right here. You've got the top of the order coming up. That's a good call by the first base umpire, James White. He definitely laid off it. Don't help him out right here.
He doesn't.
Help him out.
That's a great take.
Cannot be afraid to take 3-1 in that situation. Not with the big guys coming up. Elvis's job as a ninth place hitter at this stage of his career, anything it takes to get on base for the big guys. And good job of doing it right there.
We mentioned Ian Kinsler's got a home run against Jansen in the past. Obata here with a couple men on. Boy, it didn't seem plausible when Barajas hit that second home run to make it 11-0 Toronto in the top of the fifth. The less than 2 innings later, Tag would say the tying man's on deck.
Nope, but we've kind of set it up talking about strange things happen in baseball on any given evening. And maybe this will be one of the stranger nights.
1-1 to Kinsler. The Rangers' record for a comeback is down 10. A game that we were talking about against the Tigers a few years ago. Rangers were down 14-4. Rallied to win 16-15.
The other amazing comeback was the one in Boston. The Rangers didn't win it, but come back against the Red Sox at Fenway right in the middle of one of their big seasons was pretty amazing.
Yeah, Kinsler's the one that gave them that 15-14 lead with a home run in that game, but the Rangers lost 19-17.
Rangers had a big comeback, if I remember, a 17-16 win against the A's in this ballpark a while back. So we've seen some strange games like that. How about due for another one?
Got the corner, 2-2.
Yeah, good pitch. Jansen threw him a slider and a 2-1 pitch. And Ian's seen his fastball. He's seen the breaking ball.
Kinsler whacks it in the left center field. 1-1 is in. Kinsler jams on the brakes. In between first and second, he's made it 11-8.
Now with one man on, you've got a guy at third base as well.
Kinsler went down and got it. Brad Arnsberg will head out and talk to Jansen. They've got Brandon League working in the bullpen. Michael Young will be the batter. Michael just missed a home run last inning, settled for a sac fly as he drove it to the warning track in the center. against the organization that traded him 9 years ago. Michael Young, who of course has become the face of this Rangers organization, has not yet been in the postseason. This is as close as he has been. He wants to help give these guys a nudge into October. When Michael landed in the Rangers organization, the Rangers had just gotten done getting to the postseason 3 out of 4 years. They hadn't been back.
Ooh, boy, you got a hanger right there. That's a pitch Michael's driven out of the ballpark 10 or 11 times this year. That ball is one that Jansen definitely got away with. A pitch up in the inner half of the plate like that. That's a ball Michael drives to left center field. Just missed it that time.
Seven in the fifth and 1 in the sixth. The Rangers back to within 11 to 8.
He's going to do everything he can not to throw a strike here. Knows he got away with that hanger. Got Michael to swing at the next pitch out of the strike zone. Now 2-2. Got the man at third base with only 1 out.
Taken outside.
For this side of the crowd.
He did. For out number 2. Tough
Pitch
pitch
by Jansen right there. You get Michael with a man on third base in less than 2 outs. Made a big time pitch.
Cito Gaston's coming to the mound, and he's got a lefty warm out there. Josh Hamilton coming to the plate. Michael tried to hold up, he just couldn't. Pitching change coming. Josh Hamilton will be the tying man when we return to Arlington. Rangers back to within 11 to 8. Josh Hamilton is going to bat against a guy that was in Rangers spring training just a couple of springs ago. Jesse Carlson has found a nice home as a Toronto Blue Jay. And they go lefty-lefty here. Jesse Carlson has given up 6 home runs. His record is 1-5. Not nearly the year he's had in 09 as he had in 08. And a tough hitter here, obviously. Josh Hamilton, boy, is due. I mean, due. 2 home runs in his last 56 ball games.
Left-hand hitters have actually hit slightly higher against Carlson than right-hand hitters. He's kind of a side-arming guy. Looks like he'd be really tough on lefties. They'd managed to hit 262 against him, though.
Josh flying to the warning track and left back in the first inning. And a line shot base hit in the 5th. Drilling this one to the out. A run is in. Kinsler to third. It is 11-9.
Yeah, that is a rope right there and a beautiful at bat for Josh.
The go-ahead man comes to the plate. It's Marlon Burns. Well, a couple of rockets from Josh Hamilton the last 2 innings. Well, he brought on the lefty, and now he's got to face a couple righties who have pop, Bird, and then Cruz. Outside corner, strike 1. Nine unanswered runs for the guys in blue. Brett Cecil had a shutout through 4, then gave up 7 in the 5th. Marlon Byrd hits it very high. Left center field. Vernon Wells at the track.
Just got underneath that ball.
Wow.
He hit that on the good part of the bat and just popped it up.
Rangers strand 2 and score 2, but here they come. It's 11-9. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T is your world. It delivers. The Rangers have marched back in this thing with 7 in the 5th and 2 in the 6th. It's 11-9. And boy, Marlon Byrd just missed, making it 12-11. Darren O'Day takes over as we go to the 7th. The Ranger bullpen absolutely will figure into this one. They have done a good job of kind of reversing directions here after the Blue Jays already had 10 runs in through 4. Doug Mathis gets an attaboy tonight, huh? Randy Ruiz fouls it. In the last couple of innings for the Rangers, Tom, 2 Rangers have gone 2 for 2. One of them's Ian Kinsler, and he's driven in 3 runs in doing so. But you know who else has done it is Taylor Teagarden. And Taylor, when asked by the reporters in Minnesota about how it's been going for him the last couple of weeks, I thought he was very honest. He said, I've got to pick it up. I just have to. He has done that tonight as the Rangers try to rally. He's 2 for his last 2 with 2 runs scored. Ooh, came in and hit him on a 1-2 count. Third time Ruiz has been on base tonight without hitting the ball. Now the most active Blue Jay hitter tonight, Rod Barajas, pair of home runs, a season best 5 runs batted in. Darren O'Day squares the count 1-1. Well, as you said, Tag, the crowd, it's not the biggest crowd tonight, but boy, they have absolutely gotten into it the last couple innings.
Yeah, I don't think there's a better kind of game for a hometown fan to get into than this kind of a game. A game that seems totally over, and all of a sudden your team is right back in it. It would make for pretty exciting times for fans, and that's exactly what's happened tonight. Good pitch by Darren right there to get Rod.
It definitely fosters that we're all in this together thing, you know. Got it. That's the guy with the 2 home runs and 5 runs batted in. We go to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Josh. You know, that last half inning, you talked about how the Rangers came from behind about 10 runs down in Detroit a few years ago. Well, this is 3 generations of the William Smith, and William Smith, little William Smith. You were actually at that game against Detroit a few years ago. What do you remember?
I remember we were sitting down from the Ranger dugout, and same kind of feelings tonight. Got way behind, come back, had a big inning, and come back and won it. Same feeling we're getting tonight.
There we go. And what little William Smith, what do you have to say?
Go Rangers!
There we go. Okay, maybe the same thing tonight. Good to see you guys.
Well, that's 3 generations who all look alike, that's for sure.
You don't think that was contrived?
No, that's not contrived at all. You can tell by the smile on the son and the grandfather.
Frisbeed in there for a strike.
Great throw by Taylor right there. Not an easy pitch to catch and throw. You had to reach for the ball, get him throwing position, and then make a quick, accurate throw.
And you've gotten to 1-2 on Bautista, too.
A hit and run, but very tough pitch for poor Bautista, who was trying to make contact with it. Good throw.
The Rangers will bat in the bottom of the 7th, down by only 2. Home run in the top of the 5th. Ball game's half over. It's 11-zip Toronto. And the Cynics, you guys have to just go somewhere else. The Rangers marauded their way back with a 7-run 5th inning. Nelly Cruz hit a 3-run homer. Rangers kept on to hitting in the 6th. Josh Hamilton with that rope to make it 11-9, and that's where we are in the bottom of the 7th inning. And here is Nelson Cruz again. You know, one thing we didn't show you there, Tom, is how close Marlon Byrd came to making it 12-11 with a couple men on, 2 out. Boy, he just barely got under one. High drive, Nelly Cruz.
Got underneath. Yeah, he had a good swing, had a great pitch to hit. Hit it on the good part of the bat, but just popped it up. Nelly didn't hit that one quite the same way as Marlon. And as strong as he is, if he hit it in the center of the ball, the center of the bat, he still could have driven that in the Ranger bullpen.
Want to know the count to David Murphy. He had the hit that started everything in the 5th inning. Again, the Rangers looking for their biggest comeback ever. That game that was 14-4 Detroit, Pudge Rodriguez was in that game for Detroit when the Rangers came back, all the way back, to win it 16-15. Pudge had a huge game for the Tigers. 3 hits, 3 runs batted in, but Michael Young ended up with 3 hits, 3 runs batted in. Alfonso Soriano had 6 hits in that game for the Rangers, and they came all the way back. Won it 16-15 on a Saturday night at the ballpark. That was another one of those games, Tom. Made one similarity. You mentioned that Brett Cecil, had it been any other inning but the fifth, might have been out of that game. I remember the same thing with Mike Maroth that night for the Tigers. Well, they just kind of left him out there, figuring, all right, we're going to try to get him that one more inning that he needs. All of a sudden, 14-4 was 14-10, and the Rangers just kept on coming. Murphy sends it into right center field. Another Ranger base hit.
David Murphy's doing a number on left-hand pitching the last week. Started out in a spot start against Andy Pettit. He had a double and a home run against Andy Pettit. And he had a double the next day against a left-handed reliever down the right field line in a rally. Another line drive against a lefty tonight.
Once again, the Rangers will get the tying man to the plate, which seems so unlikely when it was 11-0. Angels and Mariners scoreless in the second, by the way. That game up in Seattle tonight. Boston is idle. The Red Sox start a big series at Tampa Bay tomorrow night. Been a 3 RBI night for Kinsler. 3-on-1 swing by Nelly Cruz. And again, right in the middle of both rallies so far, this guy, Taylor Teagarden. Double-header baseball tomorrow, a 4:05 first pitch. 2 games for the price of 1. Call for your tickets right now, 972 Rangers. Taylor stays alive. Rangers catching a break weather-wise, you would think, with a doubleheader tomorrow, too. It's supposed to be temperate again tomorrow. Pleasant. There's some good 2-strike swings here from Taylor Teagarden.
Yeah, good swings. He's fouling them off, but it's not like he's trying to just flick the ball or fight one off. He's had good swings at pitches. He just hasn't centered one yet.
Carlson's the 3rd Toronto pitcher tonight. The Rangers have used 3 as well. Derek Holland lasted only 3 innings plus. Then it's been Mathis and O'Day. Boy, another 2-strike foul from Taylor Teagarden. Had a slew of those.
And what you hope as a hitter, after all these pitches, that eventually he hangs one, throws that fastball right in the zone that you're ready for, foul off the ones you can't quite handle, and then sooner or later, you're hoping for that one that you can really drive. See if it comes here. A couple of pretty good ones to hit in there that he fouled off. Hope for another one.
Another 2-strike foul. That's 5 foul balls in a row here from Taylor Teagard.
If I'm Carlson right here after that, it's with 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm throwing one out of the strike zone right here.
"15 out of 19 pitches for Carlson have been strikes." Bounced that one up there.
That's out of the strike zone.
And Murphy down to second. That eliminates the double play possibility.
Ball bounced about 5 feet out in front of home plate.
Teagard with a smash. Murphy was going back to second. Now he'll head to third. What an at-bat for Taylor Teagard. 3 straight innings with a hit. He came into the 5th inning tag hitting 189 for the year. And with the Rangers down 11-0 at that point, he's now 3 for his next 3.
David, generally when the ball's hit behind you like that, you don't go back to second base. David was playing it cautious. It's a hard hit ball. But if you take a look as the runner and you know where the shortstop is, that ball was hit hard and the shortstop wasn't going to be able to get much of a jump to go get that ball. But Scott, sure you're better off to be safe.
Scott Downs coming in. We'll tell you about him right after this. The Rangers have runners at the corners. Taylor Teagard, after 6 foul balls, saw a wild pitch and then roped that single to bring Scott Downs into the ball game for Jesse Carlson. The go-ahead man is Chris Davis. And Davis shoots it to center. At the track, at the wall, caught by Vernon Wells. Murphy will tag and score. It's 11-10.
That's a second time a Ranger has just missed a 3-run homer. Marlon Byrd last inning, and Chris just barely missed hitting that one out.
That's a great glove man out there, as I'm sure you know. Vernon Wells ran back on it, timed it, got it.
Now, you definitely wanted to see that run come in. After Taylor's base hit moved David to third, 1 out. And even though Vernon made a beautiful catch, the Rangers still pick up that run and get to within 1 now.
Michael Young, remember, just missed out there in the 5th inning. Got credit for his sac fly himself. After trailing by 11, the Rangers with 7 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th. This whole ballpark has a feeling now they're not done. They're out hitting Toronto by 5. Kinsler waits on deck. Downs is a tough guy to actually drive one out of the park against. There's not a single Ranger, active Ranger, that's ever hit a home run against Scott Downs. Made a move. 2-2 with 2 out. Chop ball left side. Throw to second.
Just barely. Wow.
Ted Barrett was right there on the bag, and it was close. But the fielder's choice ends the inning. The Rangers have crept back to within 11-10. Blue Jays took that 11-0 lead. The Rangers with the big 5th just kept on chipping back. Darren O'Day is going to continue on the mound. Boy, the Rangers, you thought maybe they had that inning still alive in the bottom of the 7th inning. It was kind of a courageous play, trying to get that man going into second base. Probably the only thing Scudero could do. And he barely got Taylor Teagarden to end that threat in the bottom of the 7th. John McDonald squares, takes outside. Take you back to that last out here, Teg.
Yeah, it's definitely the only play he's got, and it's a good call. From up here, it looked like Taylor might have beaten it, but the second base umpire Ted Barrett was right on top of it, saw it all the way, made the right call.
Darren O'Day sweeps it in there to McDonald.
Straight strikeouts for Darren, and when he locates the slider like that, very difficult for the right-hand hitter to make any contact with it. Just kind of keeps going away, away, and away, and very few pitches in baseball go up. I mean, about the only way you can do it is for a sidearm or underhand pitcher to throw a slider like that. It tends to look like it goes up, might be flat. Everything else goes down, and so for a hitter, difficult to handle that. What Darren likes to do is throw that pitch, get ahead of you, and then throw the high fastball and make you swing at the pitch out of the strike zone. He has a lot of success doing that as well.
Top of the order, Marco Scudero started the game with a base hit, part of a 5-run first inning.
I don't think there's going to be anything left of that by the end of the night.
Scudero takes on the outside corner.
A lot of good pitches right here from Darren.
There's another one. Three and two. You've got Aaron Hill on deck. The guy with 31 homers, 85 runs batted in. With the sign that he wants, Darren O'Day will bring it. Missed in, ball 4. Aaron Hill is coming up. Mike Maddox goes out to the mound to talk to O'Day. We go down to the set of Rangers Live for a preview with Dana.
Thank you, Josh. It's too bad we won't have much to talk about on the postgame show tonight. Mark McLemore will be here with me to break it all down. We'll hear from the Rangers themselves as they have lived this one tonight. Also, Brandon McCarthy set to make his first start in nearly 3 months in tomorrow's doubleheader. We will hear from him on the eve of his return. And also, Jared Saltalamacchia hopes to return this season. However, he has had a setback. We will hear from him on his injury status, but not before the conclusion of this wild one, and I believe we still need to buckle up. This roller coaster does not appear to be over just yet. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks so much, Dana. Yeah, this has been just a crazy game, obviously. Darren O'Day first joined the Rangers facing these Toronto Blue Jays in one of the other crazy games of the year. that Toronto came back and won. Darren will never, well, maybe he will grow tired of telling that story someday about how he cabbed to the ballpark, really didn't know anybody, was given a uniform that didn't even say O'Day on the back, it said Gabbard, and out he went. He's in the middle of things in the 11th inning. Jason Grilli now ready in the Ranger pen. Aaron Hill having some kind of season for Toronto. Sends one high in the air, left center. And the Birdman's got it. Adam Lind will be the batter. He had the grand slam in the 4th. Boy, if there's a 300 hitter with 86 runs, 85 runs batted in that maybe you wouldn't have thought of, it's probably Adam Lind's season. O'Day puts the first one right there. By the way, the Rangers will have the top of the order coming up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Big lead at first. Runner goes. Teagarden throws. What a night for Taylor Teagarden. 3 hits, 2 men caught stealing just in the last 3 innings. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Rangers down 11-10. To 10. And if you haven't yet phoned your friends, woken the dog, whatever you need to do to get everybody in the room, we'd suggest maybe you do that. It's got that feel to it tonight. The Rangers have the top of the order up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Kinsler eyeballs what is called a strike. The Rangers started the turn of the tide back in the 5th. Down 11-0. It was as harmless as you could figure. David Murphy just kind of bopped a single in a center, but then Taylor Teagarden followed with one of his own. And it was just on and on from there. Down near third, tough play. Kinsler, dig it. He is out at first base.
That was some kind of throw right there.
John McDonald is known for his defense.
Looked like he had made a great play on a hard smash just to catch the ball, and then he dropped it. And as soon as he dropped it, it looked like he had just blown the chance for a great play. But watch the tremendous comeback he makes, and the accurate hard throw just turns and fires a one-hop throw and just nips in at first base. What a nice play.
They call him the Prime Minister of Defense up in Toronto. And normally, he's a middle infielder. This is only his 5th start at third base this year.
Boy, when you throw, you throw blindly like that on one hop, you could easily throw that ball by the first baseman and have it end up man on second, nobody out. But I guess it's a little easier to do that when you're a lesser defensive player. But McDonald is a very good defensive player. He tends to be able to make that kind of a play. Nice play just to catch the ball in the first place.
Yeah.
The last hop that it took.
But it was. I mean, it was kind of a blind throw. Michael Young drills it back in the crowd. It's 2-1. So for just a moment, boy, you thought the Rangers had that huge break to begin the 8th inning. Now they'll have to make their own breaks with nobody on, one out. Two and 2. Francisco and Grilli now in the Ranger pen.
They tried to throw that backdoor breaking ball, but left it outside.
Young trying to get on base. Josh Hamilton is next. Bouncing ball to second. Hamilton comes up having hit the ball hard 3 times tonight, twice for a single and once he lined to the warning track and left. Angels have just taken a 3-0 lead in Seattle on a Vlad Guerrero home run. On the ground near first, it's foul. The Rays beat the Tigers earlier today, 11-7. The Twins-White Sox game has gone final, 4-1 in Minnesota. Another one ground foul. 11 runs on only 9 hits for Toronto. 10 runs on 14 for the Rangers tonight. Staying alive, trying to get it to Marlon Byrd.
Downs is a pretty good sinker ball pitcher. Keeps the ball down. He's a hard guy to lift the ball on. That's why when he hung that breaking ball to Chris, looked like Chris might have hit a 3-run homer. But generally, he doesn't give up home runs. He's only given up 3 this year.
That's a tough pitch. The Rangers go in order in the 8th. They'll have to save the last of their magic for the 9th. We head there now. It's 11-10. At 10 as we go to the 9th. Folks, don't forget Wednesday is a $1 hot dog night and a Dr. Pepper autograph Wednesday too, as the Rangers and Blue Jays will be finishing up their Series M. You can get your tickets by calling 972 Rangers or go to TexasRangers.com. $1 dogs on a Wednesday night. Doubleheader, don't forget, tomorrow. First pitch at 4:05. This crowd tonight settled in, and boy, I guess as they were settling in, Tag, it was already 5-0 Toronto. They scored early and often, 5 in the first inning. That lead grew to 11-0. Now it's 11-10, and Jason Grilli tries to keep it 11-10, give the Rangers a shot for some bottom of the 9th magic. Adam Lind was at the plate when Taylor Teagarden cut down Marco Scutaro, trying to steal to end the 8th inning. And again, just a great all-around night for Taylor. Lind, Millar, and Wells, the Toronto hitters here in the 9th. Well, the Rangers, remember, had a couple of narrow misses looking to take the lead. Marlon Byrd, even Michael Young back in the 5th, that would have brought him real close. Then the Chris Davis ball that ended up as a sac fly in the 7th. Peeled into the crowd by Lind. Only one Ranger homer tonight. That was that 3-run bomb by Nelly Cruz. That ball hit well, right field. At the track, at the wall, it's gone. Adam Lind has a 2-homer, 5 RBI night. Making the comeback a little tougher now.
Lind and Barajas both have 5 runs batted in tonight. That pitch, there's not much you can say on that pitch. That's ball 4, about 6 inches inside. And somehow he got the good part of the bat on that and hit it that far towards center field. It's a nice swing and an amazing home run on a pitch that wasn't even close to being a strike.
Lind now has the most 2-strike hits in the American League with that one. That breaks that run of 10 straight runs that the Rangers had scored. Millar sends it fair. And it pinballs towards David Murphy. Millar on his way to second. And he will make it with a double. Mike Maddox quickly out to settle Jason Grilli. Looks like the Rangers will get the bullpen going now. And a pinch runner, it appears, out there at second. I think that's Travis Snyder's going to be the pinch runner. Pedro Strop getting up in the bullpen. Yeah, Snyder will run from Millar. Here's the hit from Kevin Millar. So Vernon Wells, who's already got a triple tonight and some glove work to go with it, he's coming up. Chris Davis is at the plate. This is our Coors Light freeze can. A big play by Vernon Wells.
Yeah, that pitch was a little bit on the inside half of the plate. It was about 6 inches more toward the middle of the plate. He would have driven it out of the ballpark. Almost did anyway.
I'll try to keep it to within 12-10 here is Jason Grilli. It's Wells and then Ruiz and then Barajas. Getting away from Teagarden, but he scrambles after it. That Angels lead is 4-0 on Seattle now in the 4th. A's lead the Royals 5-4 in the 4th inning. Rip and a miss by Vernon Wells. Grilli, who started the year with the Colorado Rockies, brings a 1-2 and missed a little bit in. 14 pitches into Jason's night, still looking for his first out. Off the glove of a leaping Elvis Andrus, and the ball just keeps on going into the alley.
Well, you talk about a rocket.
Wow. 13 to 10 now. Elvis just about made that catch, leaping up in the air, but boy, it was astonishing to see how quickly the ball got through the alley out there after it hit the glove of Elvis.
That's how hard he hit it. That was a bullet.
Well, a home run and 2 doubles. And the hill gets a little steeper to climb. Ron Washington will make the move here. Blue Jays 13 and the Rangers 10. First time Pedro Strop will pitch at home as a Ranger. He'll introduce himself to the crowd right after this. To 10. And a guy that was pitching at Frisco not too long ago, Pedro Strop, getting a chance at a close-up here. As the Ranger fans that have not yet made the trip to Frisco and maybe didn't see Pedro will get a chance to check him out live and in person now. He was excellent against the Twins that inning the other night.
It was pretty impressive. His fastball was mid-90s. He had a good splitter. Used that to get a strikeout in that game. Also throws a breaking ball.
He had some kind of run going in the minor leagues, AA and AAA, before the Rangers brought him up. He unleashes at 94 here to Ruiz. Converted shortstop, Pedro Strop. Kind of along the lines of Warner Madrigal, who the Rangers imported from the Angels organization, you might remember, was a converted outfielder. Only a couple of full years, 3 full years of pitching for Pedro Strop before this one.
Right in Taylor, the web of Taylor's glove. He didn't feel it. Thought it might have gone off his glove and past him.
Ahead of Ruiz, 1-2. Got him.
When you get ahead with 2 94-mile-an-hour fastballs, that off-speed pitch will get you. That looked like a splitter. It was straight down and about 10 miles an hour slower.
Comparable to the one that Frankie Francisco throws, it looks like.
You got some pretty good power arms out in the bullpen right now with Strop, Felice, Francisco, CJ. And just as effective, but not a power pitcher, is Darren O'Day.
Barajas, one of two guys, you mentioned it, Tom, that has the 2-homer, 5 RBI night going. Adam Lind is the other. There's that Angels score for you, 4-0 in the 4th. Vlad Guerrero had a home run in the 4-run 3rd inning. Joe Saunders on the mound for the Halos. Red Sox not playing tonight. Chop ball near third, foul. National League, the Reds beat the Pirates earlier today, 4-3 in the first of 2. Reds took the nightcap 6-3. At least the Reds got out of Milwaukee. Did you see that stat? They've lost 21, or the Pirates, I should say, have lost 21 straight in Milwaukee.
Wow.
That's tough to do. Astros won tonight. They beat the sagging Cubs 5-3. Roy Oswalt with the win. Both Lees had homers in that game. Carlos and Derek. Fouled by Barajas. Braves beat the Marlins 5-2. A clash of wild card contenders there. Well, the Braves aren't going away, huh? Three back of the Rockies in that wild card pursuit. Fly ball center field. And might want to go on back to second base. Get it in. Whoa, almost. You had a man out there forgetting how many outs there were, and that's a guy who certainly knows better, Vernon Wells. He was just jogging the third.
Fortunately, the third base coach screamed at him, and Vernon had enough speed to get back.
Yeah, Nick Leyva, you'll see him. Nick Leyva will holler at him.
Holler and point. Whoops.
Vernon's dad raised him better than that. Vernon's dad, you might know, was a professional football player, played in the Canadian Football League. Now a renowned sports artist living here in the Metroplex. A lot of current Major League players, a lot of recently retired Major League players that have Vernon Wells lithographs in their living rooms or foyers or something like that. Rip and a miss by Bautista. And another one.
He's just waving at the ball right now. He's hoping he throws it where he's swinging. Those pitches are way out. I don't think the bat even reached those two pitches.
It's been a long top of the ninth, about 36 pitches. Jason Grilli couldn't get an out, and they're asking the kid here, Pedro Strop, to strand Vernon Wells. Inside. John McDonald will come up. And, you know, it's kind of a subtle thing, I guess, Tag, but, you know, the game might have been a little different had John McDonald not made that amazing recovery on that ball that he dropped.
You never know. You never know. If it goes down the left field line for a double, who knows?
or if he throws it away, you know, in that panic mode, having recovered it. But he got Kinsler by half a step, and it became the first 1-2-3 inning in a while for Toronto. In the air, left field, base hit. Murphy's up with it. No play on Vernon Wells. Couldn't get rid of it. 14-10. The 3 runs in the inning charged to Grilli.
The base hit, McDonald's had a couple of hits in the game, is one thing, but walking Bautista after the way he was swinging, that's another thing. Pedro threw him a strike. Pretty good chance to get him out.
It has been, I think you'd have to say, Tag, a mentally exhausting game tonight. 11-0 Toronto, 11-10. Couple of balls off the bat looked like gave the Rangers the lead. Things kind of idled in the 8th, and now a 3-run top of the 9th. The Rangers have walked 5 tonight. They've allowed 4 home runs. They've had to throw about 185 pitches in this one tonight. As we suggested earlier, good time for September 1st to be showing up on the calendar. If you got a doubleheader tomorrow, go through all these pitchers tonight.
Yeah, with all the pitchers tonight, Rangers might call up an extra guy tomorrow to make sure they have enough for a doubleheader.
Inside corner to Scudero. Two on, 2 out. I'll make it 3-2. Aaron Hill is the only Blue Jay yet to bat in this inning, and he's on deck. Ball 4. Or Scudero, I guess kind of par for the course, huh? Has been on base 4 times tonight.
Second baseman Aaron Hill.
Every Ranger has a hit tonight. Teagarden's got 3, Murphy's got 2, Hamilton 2, and Kinsler 2. Michael Young's hit that he got extended his hitting streak to 18. Ripping a foul.
Went through the screen.
How's that happen?
Is that a hole in the screen? Either that or I saw the thing. No, I did. It went right through the screen. Or either underneath it.
Inside. You don't think you're getting a souvenir sitting there, but it happened. Yeah, right.
It went underneath. It went between the top of the wall and the bottom of the screen. What are the chances of that happening?
It's the perfect storm.
That was pretty amazing. Luckily, it slowed down. It's not like it went in there at 80 miles an hour. It hit and just kind of plopped in front of him.
More than 40 pitches in the inning.
Well, Pedro's up to 27. This will be his 28th pitch. And no one else is pitching in this game, so
that's down the line, foul.
unless the Rangers have a huge bottom of the ninth, then someone will pitch. But right now, CJ's not going to pitch for sure. He pitched a lot yesterday. Save Frankie for tomorrow. Felice, the same thing.
With the bases loaded, the 2-2. Ooh, 3-2. Again, mentally, the swing of emotions in this game. Just amazing. One more strike needed here for Strop. But he can't do it. He has walked 3 of the last 4. It all started with Bautista, and it looked like he was going to have his way with Bautista.
All he had to do was throw him a strike, and I think he would have.
He got 2 outs pretty quickly, did Strop. Tell you who kept this inning alive for Toronto was their third base coach, Nick Leyva. He didn't point Vernon Wells back on that fly ball by Barajas after Vernon thought there were already 2 outs working on 3.
Adam Lind has a chance to have a big day right here.
You're already working on 2 homers, 5 runs batted in.
Yeah, if you don't want to call that a big day. Scored 3 runs.
That's the most runs scored at the ballpark this year, tied for that anyway. 25 total. But as long as this one's been going on tonight, again, you got to turn around to a doubleheader tomorrow. There's a splitter.
Well, Ryan's forced to get Felice up in the bullpen.
This is not.
That's not good.
No, it's not the kind of game that you were even thinking about using Felice. Kinsler can't get it, and it is a huge game for Adam Lind. As Hamilton overruns it, 3 runs are going to score. It's either a 7 or 8 RBI night for Lind, depending on how they score it.
Yeah, that'll be an 8. That'll go as a 3-run double.
Now, we talked about this combo of Hill and Lind that nobody seems to know, that nobody talks about. And boy, they'll be talking about it tomorrow here in the Metroplex. That's 8 runs batted in for Lind and a couple for Hill. So that 7-run 5th that the Rangers got is completely wiped out by a 7-run 9th.
And this is just about the worst kind of game you would want preceding a doubleheader. A long game, use all these pitchers, throw all these pitches. This is going to be 36 pitches for Strop right here.
After 20 from Grilling. Travis Snyder becomes literally the 10th different man to bat this inning. He was used as a pinch runner for Millar. Career high in runs batted in for Lind, and the most in the season in a game for any Blue Jay.
We went into this inning, hoping Jason could get through the inning. And then you would have Strop as a guy that could pitch at least in one of the games tomorrow in late relief. Instead, Strop, I doubt, will be available tomorrow. This will be his 38th pitch. That's one pitcher that's not going to be able to pitch tomorrow.
Yeah. Really, you can probably bring back.
Mathis is questionable. He pitched 3 innings.
No, again, it's the perfect day for it to become September 1st. You can get Willie Ayer here or Guillermo Moscoso or both. See if Eddie Guardado is ready to get off the DL.
Yeah, I think you're going to need both the first guys. You're going to have long men for both games.
Obviously, a couple of uncomfortable innings. You go back to the first when Derek Holland was really struggling with his command. Now here in the 9th, young Pedro Strop.
Oh boy.
That'll do it. But a 7-run 9th has made it 18-10 Toronto. By Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag, it's on, and buy the Ford F-150. It's not just a pickup truck, it's a Ford F-150. Jason Frazier is going to come in the game and try to get the last 3 outs here for Toronto. Really tough game, obviously, tonight. The Rangers had what looked like the comeback for the ages. You felt the tremors. Everybody seemed like, I think, has won in this ballpark tonight, Tag, that they were in on the fact that they could come all the way back. It was 11-0. They got back to 11-10. But now it is 18-10. Lyle Overbay is in the game at first base, by the way. And Snyder stays in the game playing left. We'll take one last run through the scores this inning and remind you that Rangers Live is coming up after this ball game is done. But Marlon Byrd was up there in the 6th inning, looking to unload with a couple men on. He came real close. Rangers settled for 2 in that 6th inning after getting 7 in the 5th. Marlin hits one high and hits it deep in a left. Doesn't look like the ball is jumping to left field.
Unless Rob Barajas is up. Adam Lind. That was one Marlin just got underneath it a little bit. He's had two like that today. One to left center field. And then that one to the warning track. Those are balls. If he hits those balls good, he'll drive those both out of the ballpark.
Well, Rangers came in tonight with the third best ERA in the American League, but 18 scored by Toronto tonight after they were all but shut down entirely at Fenway this past weekend. The Angels have extended their lead on Seattle 7-0 in the 5th inning now. Tampa Bay beat the Tigers 11-7 this afternoon. That was James Shields getting the win. Carlos Pena, home run number 38. The Yankees beat the Orioles 5-1 behind Andy Pettitte. Boy, as good as Pettitte looked against the Rangers tag, apparently he was even better against the Orioles tonight. Took a perfect game into the 7th inning.
That's pretty good. Yeah, he did. He looked real good. If it wasn't for David Murphy, Murphy was the only one that really had a good game against him. Well, the Rangers have had 14 hits and 10 runs in this game.
You'd think that would be plenty, right?
Normally it would. 14 hits for Toronto too, but they've had some walks to go along with it. Rangers have only walked once tonight. Toronto's walked 7 times.
Well, the big story for Toronto will be the 8 RBI game for Adam Lind. It is the second 8 RBI game in the majors this year. Josh Willingham has the other one for Washington. Roy Howell has the all-time Blue Jays record for runs batted in a game. He had 9. That's the Ranger record too, right? Pudge Rodriguez did that in Seattle.
About 4 innings.
Nelson Cruz down on strikes. That's actually 8 straight retired now by Toronto pitching. Right when the Rangers looked like they were going to overtake Toronto. 8 in a row. Starting with that Chris Davis ball that Vernon Wells ran down at the track. Twins beat the White Sox 4-1. Royals and A's are tied 5-5 in the 6th. National League, the Dodgers trail the Diamondbacks 2-1 tonight, 5th inning. The Rockies are not playing tonight. The Giants are not playing tonight. Mentioned the Astros beat the Cubs 5-3, and the Reds took a doubleheader from the Pirates. Fouled by Murphy. And again, a reminder, it's 2 games tomorrow. First one at 4:05. How badly the Rangers will need a decent effort in that first game. Dustin Nippert to be followed by Brandon McCarthy in game 2. Rangers will avoid facing Roy Halladay in this series. He pitched yesterday. That's going to do it. Just a bizarre night here in Arlington. The Rangers trailed 11-0, came back to within 11 of 10, and then watched Toronto score 7 in the ninth to put it away. Rangers Live is ready to go. Dana and Mac are